Hey everybody, and welcome to AniBreak, the show that we just talk about the week's topics in anime, manga, and video games. My name's Jason, and it has been a while. I do apologize. Life has been very interesting as of late. Start off with surgery. Then I had, unfortunately, one of my dogs, passed away, and then car troubles, and yeah, life was interesting. But you know what? Life gets better, life moves on, and that's why we are back here with AniBreak. So hope you guys have been doing great this past month. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I know we have a new season of anime coming very, very soon, so we will do a preview episode on that. But let's get into the news, and let's start off with one of my favorite series of all time, Ghost in the Shell. With Ghost in the Shell Arise Border 4, which is called Ghost Stands Alone, heading out in theaters right now, actually, over in Japan. If you go to the Japanese site for the prequel OVA series, there was an update overlay announcing a brand new movie project slated to hit Japanese theaters in 2015. We have no more information other than that, but it's more Ghost in the Shell. That's always great news. And I've learned my lesson with all the preparation for Ghost in the Shell Arise, so I'm just going to take it as is. It's more Ghost in the Shell. I'm incredibly happy for it. Once I get more information, even glimpses of, sketches, artwork, maybe even a trailer or something, I'm going to throw it on this show, so stay tuned for that. The thing is, though, I hear all this great news, and then on the other side, I hear some more updates on the possible DreamWorks live action adaptation of Ghost in the Shell. And that was the one I was like, kind of hesitant. I mean, yes, the whole thing with the rights, there was a fight back in about 2007, 2008, where Universal Studios, Sony Pictures, DreamWorks, and even Production IG themselves, on behalf of Kodansha, which was the original manga publisher, were all vying for the live-action rights. And apparently what swayed it into DreamWorks camp's favor was the fact that you had co-founder Steven Spielberg's enthusiasm for the project. And that's the last we heard for quite a while, until about a week and a half ago, where it looks like DreamWorks is in quote-unquote very early talks with an actress to play Multicle, the main character. And this actress, her name is Margot Robbie. She most recently was in the movie The Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah, okay, that was... I can kind of see the resemblance. I can kind of see where they're going to go with that. Now, granted, anything live-action adaptation is never going to be an honest-to-goodness, straight duplicate of what you expect from the manga or the anime. But, okay, we'll see what happens with this. I'm a little more hesitant about who they have initially set to direct this. It's actually Rupert Sanders, who last directed Snow White and the Huntsman. To take that idea and then go into this new project, you wonder. I mean, yes, you still have Avi Arad, who worked on the original X-Men movies and whatnot. He's going to be producing this, so I have that there that I'm like, okay, that could be pretty good. Plus, Steven Spielberg has got to have some sort of influence on this. And we're talking very, very early talks, so I doubt there's even pre-production or anything like that that's been released yet, I should say. But, I mean, what do you guys think on this? Let me know on, Facebook and Twitter, OtakuLife Jason. Do you guys think that Hollywood can finally bring about a really good adaptation that's worth to be mentioned in the same breath as the original manga or anime? I'm still, hesitant to say yes. Then again, need we remind ourselves about the abomination that was Dragon Ball Evolution? So, yeah. Unfortunately, they have a lot to prove and a lot to shake off if they plan on trying to move forward with this and actually be something that all the fans would actually truly enjoy. But that's just my 2 cents. You guys might remember last time we were on the show, we were talking about a brand new Kickstarter at the time called Under the Dog. And this was a proposed brand new sci-fi anime. And this thing, my God, they had so many excellent people that are working behind this in terms of the staff. And in the past week before it actually ended its Kickstarter, they had so many people not only jump on board to actually help out with this, but they also had a number of people vouch for it, or vouch for the not only the quality of what they're aiming for, but of the just what you could expect from something from this this type of caliber. Considering you have the director Masahiro Ando, who's worked on Harasaka Roha, Blast of Tempest, etc., etc. We've gone through this entire list before, but I'm glad to say that the Kickstarter not only reached its minimum goal, which was $580,000, and Masahiro Ando actually created this little sketch and posted it on online. I was really cool to see that. But man, they made a total of $878,000 and $878,028. So yes, we will be getting at least the pilot episode, 24-minute episode, with Japanese voiceover and English subtitles. Unfortunately, we did not get any of the stretch goals beyond that. The second goal was 1.16 million, which was for an additional 24-minute episode. 1.74 was for a third episode, and so on and so forth. But at least there's this first episode that will be made. So I'm really looking forward to this, and I'm really hoping, because of the fact that at least the pilot episode has been greenlit, has been funded, that when this comes out sometime in 2015, it's going to be enough for a major production house to realize what could possibly be here, something really epic, and fund it for a full 24 episode series. I would be ecstatic, but we'll see what happens with it. Moving on, what else we have going on right now? Oh yes, UFO Tables, or UFO Tables, upcoming Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works remake, I guess you can call it. We have information that not only will the series have simulcast in several territories. We know now that both Crunchyroll and Hulu will be simulcasting this series, but we also found out that there will be several premiere screenings. So we're talking, obviously several places in Japan, Paris, Nuremberg, Germany, Seoul, South Korea, and Los Angeles, right over here in California in the United States. So you guys want to look online, you probably want to find some more information about that if you want to check this out in theaters. If you can't make it though, you're not in one of those areas, don't worry, Hulu and Crunchyroll have you covered. I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to look, especially because you have Fate Zero, which looked amazing, and then you're going to redo the Unlimited Blade Works route from the game with the same production quality. I think it's going to be a great, enjoyable series. We already know it's going to be split into 2 different seasons, or basically quarters. So, yeah, okay, we'll see what happens with this. First part starts in October. I think October 4th is going to be the first episode, and of course the premiere. And the latter half, the second half, will be premiering in April of 2015. So it is coming up pretty soon. So whether you can go make it to one of the premiere locations, check it out in theaters, or just wait around at your computer or your PS3, 360, whatever you want to use to stream, and check it out on Hulu or Crunchyroll. Not too much longer. We're talking about less than a month away. So we'll have to see how that one turns out. I do have to say, though, there was a bit of surprise in this past month. That, I'm watching Toonami and enjoying it as always. And always, you got to support it. Even if you can't stay up the full 6.5 hours, you can always DVR and try to, get the numbers up there anyways. And that's what they've always said from the beginning was, if you can support it, if you can watch it when you can, the more people who watch, the more funding they'll get to get more series. And then they announced, actually late last month, that another series from Funimation is making its way to the Toonami. And I was very surprised by this one. Here's the trailer for the upcoming continuation Blu-ray release. That's right, Hellsing Ultimate is now on Adult Swim's Toonami block. Of all the series that could possibly be shown on TV, this is probably one of the last ones I would have expected, because there has to be a ridiculous amount of editing involved in order for something like this to actually make it to the airwaves. But sure, yeah, it's all good. So that trailer you saw is actually for volumes 9 and 10 of Hellsing Ultimate that are finally making its way to Blu-ray here in the United States. Cannot wait. Cannot wait for it. And it's actually one of the few series that I really enjoy in both dubs, both Japanese and in English. And many people out there, I'm sure most of you guys included, are with me on that. So yeah, you guys can check it out. It's going on right now. Actually, it starts this Saturday, actually, on the 13th. They have the 3 a.m. slot, so you gotta be up a little late, or just set your DVR, and we'll enjoy it together. If you haven't seen it already, it's well worth the watch. All right. Also going on this weekend is the LAIGO Fest, which is hosted by the Japan Film Society. Went there the past couple times. It's or last year. Really great film festival. That's been going on for about 4 years now, where they take just a weekend and they bring some of the best of Japanese cinema and bring it to the big screen over here in the States. Unfortunately, it's only at one place. That's in Hollywood, but you get to see some great stuff there. I remember going and seeing the first live action Rurouni Kenshin movie. That was an absolute blast. It worked so well. I was actually very surprised. And it looks like for this upcoming weekend they have some really good titles out there, but we're going to talk about just two real quick. One is going to be the sequel to the Rurouni Kenshin film called Densetsu no Saigohen, translated to Rurouni Kenshin: The Legend Ends. And if it's anywhere near as good as the first movie, it's going to be a must-watch. The other one, as you see on your left side, is actually the live-action Lupin the Third film. This is basically kind of like a prequel. It follows Lupin and his partners in crime before they became an actual unit, like a gang. I'm really interested in both of these. I want to check these both out. I can't make it personally this weekend, but I will definitely be checking these out in the near future. If you guys have a chance, you guys need to go check this out. Just do a search for LAIGO Fest, E-I-G-A Fest, and get tickets. If they're not sold out already, I'll be very surprised. But if you can't make it to either of these films this weekend, they have a number of other great titles they're showing on the big screen during the festival. You guys should check it out and let us know on the show what you guys thought of it, if you were able to go check it out. Yeah, I mean, how often do you get to see some great Japanese cinema, here in the States? Usually if you want to watch it, you're either streaming it or you have to import a Blu-ray, or if we're lucky, we get a Blu-ray with English subtitles available over here legally. So you take what you can, and you don't want to miss out on events like this. I know I mentioned earlier about it's called the Ghost in the Shell live-action adaptation done by DreamWorks. That is not the only film or series that is getting a remake over here in Hollywood. Apparently, Tokyo-based company Voyager Entertainment announced just a couple days ago that a live-action adaptation of space battleship Yamato is in the works. It'll be obviously translated over here as Star Blazers. That was the U.S. broadcast title back in the day. I know this was announced before, as rumored back in October of last year, but there was no statement from the Japanese side at the time. Now we actually have the Japanese side confirming that yes, there is an adaptation in the works on this side. It looks like Skydance Productions is going to work on this. Christopher McQuarrie is going to be writing, or set to direct the film. He actually worked on The Usual Suspects, worked on Jack Reacher. He's currently working with Tom Cruise on Mission Impossible 5. And once that is complete, Star Blazers will be his next project. So, okay. We'll see how this works. It's not as big of as a title as, say, Ghost in the Shell to some people. Probably not as known to the younger crowd, but honestly, if you haven't watched anything of Yamato, there are, the tons of anime series, great OVAs. There's the CG film that was out, I think, about a year and a half ago, that you can now get for like $10-15 on Amazon Blu-rays. So you don't have any excuse to not check that one out. But we don't have much information aside from what we just mentioned, so we'll keep an eye on it, and we'll see what happens with it. Although I do have to say, Hollywood, at least Marvel and Disney, have gotten something right, and it's all their great Marvel movies. Latest being, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy. Absolutely loved it, saw it multiple times in theaters, would love to go see it again. It will be a definite Blu-ray pickup the day it's available. But it hasn't been released just yet over in Japan. It's going to be released this weekend on September 13th. And to tie in with it, it looks like the Guardians are going to show up in their the latest Marvel anime called Marvel Disc Wars, The Avengers. We already know my thoughts on this series. It's recap, it's not good. I do have to say, though, they released a screenshot of how the Guardians are going to look in the anime, because they're going to show up as a cameo. Here you go. Okay, Groot. Okay, Groot is Groot. Gamora. Okay, I can kind of see that. Peter Quill. Okay, anime adaptation. I'll go with it. It's very basic, but that's fine. Drax looks actually pretty decent. I kind of like the design. And then we get to Rocket, which looks like a freaking Pokemon now. I'm so confused by this one. Apparently, the Guardians are going to show up in the anime series to defend Earth from Ronan the Accuser in a 2-episode arc, starting actually later on today over in Japan. Yeah, it's interesting. Is that the word I'm looking for? Interesting. Kathy, is it a Star Fox character? Yeah, maybe Rocket has become a Star Fox character. He's gonna do a barrel roll all the 2-episode arc. Yeah, I just had to mention it because it was just one of those just random things out there. But this next bit of news is not random. It's actually pretty cool and slightly expected from Nintendo. They came out and announced a brand new 3DS, and I have to say, it's actually looking quite nice. It's including some features that should have been around the first time, to be completely honest. But so yeah, we have both a new Nintendo 3DS, as the title is going to be called, and a new Nintendo 3DS LL, or XL as the version is over here in the States. It's big bit is brand new control, but by brand new control I mean just a second analog stick or analog pad called the C stick. Hey, this kind of looks like the design that they had back with the GameCube controller. Okay, that's fine. I'll go for it. I'm glad it's finally gonna happen. I know for a while they were releasing, or they were selling an adapter for 3DS models to include just a second control stick. Now it's going to be built into it. They also added some additional buttons on the back. So you have two left shoulder buttons and 2 right shoulder buttons this time. Gives you a little more options when you're going to be playing these games. I do have to say another bit is that they actually moved the NFC, or they're actually putting the NFC chip now underneath the bottom screen. So they're going to push that whole amiibo experience right onto you, and you can put these characters a la Skylanders or Disney Infinity and whatnot, and put that character right on the screen so it can interact with you in the game. They added some additional technology, which I'm really happy for. Right here is something that should have happened the first time around, to be completely honest, is actually automatically brightness adjustment. So depending on the lighting, because it uses the camera, it'll actually automatically adjust the lighting, which is great not only for battery life, but it makes the games look a lot better. They also made the announcement that they're using the camera to increase the quality of the 3D effect. If you've ever played it before, you get that that sweet spot, and it kind of goes away if you actually get move to left or right. The camera will now actually use the gyro sensors and the camera to track the player's face and adjust the 3D as necessary. That's kind of nice. And plus, finally, they're going to be adding a micro SD slot on the bottom of the case. So you'll actually have that option built into it. So I think this will work well. New CPU, all this, you can download games quicker, you can play games faster, probably have better graphics. It's a nice package. The only downside to this, nothing yet announced here for the States. We know what's going to happen. It always happens. It will be available in October in Japan. The regular 3DS version will be going for about $150, whereas the XL version will be going for about $180, $185. Probably get around the same prices over here in the States when it comes over. Probably looking closer to 2015 for more information about that. And the downside to all this, though, if you wanted to import this console, or this handheld, I should say, you will not be able to play any of your US games. They're going to region lock this thing. So, yeah. It's sad. They have such great games over in Japan, but you can't play them unless you buy a Japanese 3DS. C'est la vie. Alright. What else we have going on here? Just a few more things before we wrap this up. They already made the announcement about yet another Ace Attorney game. They're going to continue on this series. They're going to milk this cow till it's dry. But you know what? It is a very, very fun game. If you guys haven't played any of it, and if you don't have a 3DS or a DS or anything like that, and you have an iOS device, could be an iPad, could be an iPhone, iPod, whatnot, go download the app. You can play the first story of the first game for free, get yourself hooked, and then you can always order the subsequent games right there from the App Store. Tons of fun, great time waster, and it'll get you hyped for the great Ace Attorney. This latest version will have some additional characters, mainly Sherlock Holmes. This Sherlock Holmes kind of looks like a Japanese steampunk alternative to Benedict Cumberbatch's version. I do like the goggles they have on the hat and whatnot. They still have the I think it's the trilby is what they're called. No, it's not. I forget the name of the actual hat itself. But the funny thing is, though, is that Holmes here will be helped by his, why so young, an 8-year-old girl assistant named Iris Watson. I'm down for the design for Sherlock. What for Watson, not so much. They claim that Watson has a medical PhD at the age of 8. Wait, what? That makes no sense. Yeah, okay. The Great Ace Attorney is currently scheduled to hit Nintendo 3DS in Japan next spring. So I'm hoping for sometime in 2015 to get a hold of this over here in the States for all of you Ace Attorney fans out there. Okay. I have to bring this up because this came out of left field. Music company called Korg, K-O-R-G, has been around for decades, created some amazing, amazing instruments and amazing technology for musicians to use throughout the years. And I have to say, this next bit of tech, I never saw coming. Yeah, that's right. It's the MikuStomp effects box. It's a standard guitar effects box with a rotary knob and foot switch for activating the box on the fly, either through a guitar and amp, or as part of a larger effects rack, as usual for these effects boxes. The effects that'll be available on this box specifically correspond to Miku's current vocal range and can be even randomized for some interesting effects. You got a basic idea from that video of what this box is capable of. I have to say, I mean, I'm reading some of your responses and I'm kind of the same. This is completely out of left field. I never thought anything like this would actually be coming out. Usually if you wanted to create a song with Miku, it requires additional software, digital input boxes, additional computer yeah, all this stuff. Now you just need a guitar and this effects box to create a basic Miku tune. I could not believe it when I first saw this. We have no idea how much this thing is going to be. Korg is very vague on the release date. They're currently just stating October, and of course, like all great stuff, it is currently listed to only be available in Japan. I'm kind of waiting for Korg's worldwide division to make an announcement to officially release this elsewhere in Europe and especially here in the United States. Could you imagine checking some of this out? You can go to a concert, get like a local band together, and instead of hooking up a laptop or a keyboard with a MIDI input to create a Miku song, you can just hook up this little Stomp box and kind of create a Miku song with your guitar on the fly. I think that's actually really amazing. I'm curious to see if anybody's here actually willing to shell out the money for something like this. I could think of maybe 2 or 3 people who would definitely buy it, and then probably a handful of others who would be, if I have the extra cash, sure, why not? It's definitely a unique idea, and I would love to see this being used in person. Alright, last but not least, we've kind of talked about this, I guess you can call it a dating sim, before. Now it's actually available. You can buy it right now on Steam. Hatoful Boyfriend. Enjoy. Yeah, it's an actual thing. Yes, congratulations. You've been accepted as the only human student at the prestigious St. Pigeon Institute, a school for talented birds. I can't make this crap up. Yes, it is a dating sim. You try to date birds. I mean, this is all tongue-in-cheek stuff, but who the hell thought of something like this? It's a pigeon dating sim. Oh my god. And there's multiple stories, replayability, you can 10 class to level up. I gotta love that you also have like the bullies of the school dressed up. Yeah, and honestly, that video is the official launch trailer. So yeah, that is a thing. You can get this right now on Steam. I can't believe this thing. Yes, yeah, you can get this on Steam right now. It is only $9.99. You can get the collector's edition for $14.99, which also includes a digital soundtrack, an exclusive comic, some wallpapers, and the St. Pigeon Yearbook for class of 2014. Yeah, this is a thing. I'm kind of tempted to get it just for the hell of it. Maybe stream it. We'll see what happens on it. But that's going to be it for this episode. I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out. As always, you can catch all the latest information on AniBreak.com, past episodes included. You can also follow me on Facebook and Twitter, OtakuLife Jason. We'll be just talking about my random thoughts about the upcoming series, what I'm watching right now, and responding to you guys. If you have any questions at all, if you want to know what I'm watching, or have want to get my thought on some random thing out there, let me know. I'll be right there. I'll be more than happy to respond to you guys. But that's going to be it for this episode of AniBreak. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for post-show. And for AniBreak, I'm Jason. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, everybody.